Alright, so picture this. It's 2025. The world is more connected than ever before. Technology has advanced in leaps and bounds, and the internet is the lifeblood of our daily lives. We're living in a time where information is at our fingertips, and news travels at the speed of light. We've got the internet, which means news travels fast, faster than you can say breaking news. Stories spread across the globe, reaching millions in mere seconds. Social media platforms are buzzing hives of activity where everyone is both a consumer and a creator of news. And boy, has it been traveling this week. The airwaves, the internet, and even the good old newspapers are all ablaze with one name. It's the kind of week where you can't escape the headlines no matter where you turn. There's a name buzzing around. Traoré. It's on everyone's lips, from the bustling streets of Lagos to the quiet cafes of Nairobi. But who is this Traoré, and why is he suddenly the center of attention? General Traoré, to be precise, a high-ranking military official with a storied career, known for his strategic mind and leadership. But this week, it's not his military prowess that's making headlines, and it's not because he's launched a new dance craze. No, this isn't about some viral dance challenge sweeping across TikTok. This is something far more serious. No, this is one of those stories that makes you lean in, the kind of story that starts with a whisper, a rumor that spreads like wildfire. It's the kind of news that makes you sit up and pay attention, the kind that starts with a rumor, a murmur in the crowd, a post on social media, a hushed conversation in a dimly lit room, and then it starts to grow. The whispers get louder, the rumors more persistent, then it gets a bit louder. Suddenly it's everywhere. News outlets pick it up, social media trends explode, and before you know it, it's the topic of every conversation. It's the story that everyone's talking about. Traoré exposed. Scandal hits Pan-African initiative. The headlines are dramatic, the kind that grab your attention and don't let go. It's a scandal of epic proportions, one that has everyone asking questions. It's like a political drama, but it's real life. The kind of drama that you'd expect to see on a TV show, with twists and turns that keep you on the edge of your seat. But this time it's not fiction. It's happening right now in the real world. And it involves some serious allegations. We're talking about accusations that could bring down careers, that could shake the very foundations of institutions, allegations that are being taken very seriously by everyone involved. We're talking about big money, huge sums that could make or break projects, that could change lives. Money that was supposed to be used for something good, something that would benefit many. Money meant for good things, for building infrastructure, for humanitarian aid, for projects that would uplift communities and bring about positive change. But now there are questions about where that money has gone. But it seems it might have taken a little detour. Instead of reaching the people and projects it was meant for, it appears that some of it may have ended up in the wrong hands, hands that were more interested in personal gain than the greater good. This isn't just a local issue either. The implications of this scandal are far-reaching, affecting not just one country, but the entire continent. It's a story that has caught the attention of the world. This has ripples across the African continent. The actions of a few have the potential to impact many, creating waves that spread far and wide. Leaders from across Africa are now involved, trying to navigate the fallout. Let's try to unpack this, shall we? There's a lot to dig into, a lot of questions that need answers. So hold on to your hats, folks. This is going to be a deep dive into a story that's as complex as it is compelling. So, this General Moussa Traoré, he's not just some random bloke. Before this whole mess, he was a pretty big deal. Think of him as a key player. He was heading up this massive Pan-African project, the Sahel Sunshine Initiative. The idea was to bring sustainable energy to the Sahel region. Solar power, green jobs, all that good stuff. He was often seen at important conferences, shaking hands with world leaders, giving powerful speeches about Africa's potential. He talked a good game about transparency and progress. He was the face of hope for many, especially for this Sahel project. Billions were pledged. So, what exactly went wrong with the Sahel Sunshine Initiative? It's a bit like a detective story. But instead of a missing diamond, it's missing millions. Or maybe even billions. The accusations are serious. We're talking about alleged misappropriation of funds. Money earmarked for solar panels, for training engineers, for community projects. It seems a chunk of it just vanished. Poof, gone into thin air, or maybe into some very nice bank accounts. The details are still coming out, but investigative journalists have been digging. They found dodgy contracts, inflated invoices, shell companies that appeared overnight. You can imagine this Traoré business hasn't gone down well. Across Africa, people are watching, and they're reacting in different ways. There's a lot of anger, obviously, especially from countries in the Sahel region. They were the ones promised all this sunshine. Now they're left with, well, mostly just the usual amount of sun, and a big fat scandal. It's like ordering a pizza and getting an empty box. Then there's the disappointment. Many people, young Africans especially, are tired of these stories. They want to see progress. They want to believe in these big, bold African initiatives. But when something like this happens, it's a blow. It feeds cynicism. Section 5 plot twist. Zambia steps up with a big ask. Okay, so everyone's talking about Traoré, the news is full of it. And then Zambia walks in, and they basically say, hold my beer. Or, hold my Nshima, because they've got their own bombshell to drop. They're not talking about a current scandal. Oh no, they're going way back to colonial times, and they're demanding reparations from the United Kingdom and the European Union. Billions, with a B. It's quite the statement. This isn't just a quiet request, mind you. This is a formal demand. The Zambian government, led by their new, rather assertive president, has made it official. They've compiled reports. They've got historians and economists involved. Section 6. Zambia's Past. A story written in copper and colonialism. To understand Zambia's demand, you need to understand its history. It's a story that, like many African nations, is deeply intertwined with colonialism. Before it was Zambia, it was Northern Rhodesia, a territory controlled by the British South Africa Company, which was Cecil Rhodes's company. Yes, that Rhodes. The one whose statues have been causing a bit of a stir lately. His company wasn't there to build holiday resorts. They were there for one main reason: minerals, especially copper. Zambia sits on what's known as the Copper Belt, one of the richest sources of copper in the world. Section 7. Why now? Zambia's coffers and a call for justice. So, Zambia's demanding reparations, but why now? What has brought this issue to the forefront at this particular moment in time? And it's not just about making a historical point. While acknowledging the past is crucial, the present circumstances are equally pressing, though that's part of it. The legacy of colonialism has left deep scars, and the call for reparations is also a call for recognition and justice. There are very real, very current economic pressures at play. The Zambian government is grappling with a myriad of financial challenges that demand immediate attention. Zambia, like many developing nations, is facing some tough times. The economic landscape is fraught with difficulties that affect everyday life for its citizens. They've got significant national debt. This debt is a heavy burden that limits the country's ability to invest in its future, some of it to China, some to Western lenders. The international financial obligations are diverse and complex, involving multiple stakeholders. Servicing that debt eats up a huge chunk of their budget. This leaves little room for essential services and development projects, money that could be spent on schools, on hospitals, on roads. These are the building blocks of a thriving society, and yet they are underfunded. Then there's the economy itself. Zambia's economic health is precarious and heavily dependent on a single resource. It's still heavily reliant on copper prices. Copper is the lifeblood of the Zambian economy, but it's a double-edged sword, which, as you know, can go up and down like a yo-yo. The volatility of copper prices makes economic planning incredibly challenging. When copper prices are high, things are okay. The country can breathe a little easier and invest in its future. When they dip, the whole country feels it. Economic downturns hit hard, affecting every sector of society. They're trying to diversify, of course. Efforts are being made to reduce reliance on copper and to develop other sectors of the economy. Entrepreneurship is being encouraged, and there's a push towards innovation and technology. These initiatives are crucial for long-term stability. Education and vocational training are also key areas of focus. By equipping the younger generation with skills, Zambia hopes to build a more resilient economy. Healthcare improvements are another priority. A healthy population is essential for economic growth and social well-being. Infrastructure and renewable energy projects are also on the agenda. These investments are aimed at creating a sustainable and prosperous future for Zambia. On the international stage, Zambia is seeking partnerships and support. Global cooperation is vital for addressing the challenges they face. The call for reparations is part of a broader movement for justice and equity. It's about righting historical wrongs and building a fairer world. Ultimately, it's about hope for a better future. A future where Zambia can thrive and its people can prosper. Section 8. Connecting the Dots: Governance, History, and Africa's Path Forward. So, here we are at a critical juncture in Africa's journey. The continent, rich in history and culture, stands at a crossroads where its past and present intersect, shaping its future. Two big stories from Africa, hitting the headlines at the same time. These stories, though distinct, are deeply intertwined with the continent's ongoing narrative. On one side, General Traoré and the Sahel Sunshine Scandal. This scandal has rocked the region, bringing to light issues of military influence and governance. A story about alleged corruption. Corruption that has seeped into various levels of governance, eroding public trust and stalling progress. About governance challenges within the continent, about trust being broken. The people demand transparency and accountability from their leaders. It's a reminder that Africa, like any other place, has its internal struggles. These struggles are not just political, but also social and economic, affecting everyday lives. Its own hurdles to overcome when it comes to managing resources. From the rich mineral deposits to the fertile lands, the challenge lies in equitable and sustainable management, and ensuring leaders are accountable. Accountability is the cornerstone of good governance, and without it, progress remains a distant dream. It's a tough conversation but a necessary one. These discussions, though difficult, are essential for the continent's growth and development. On the other side, Zambia's demand for reparations. This demand is not just about money but about justice and recognition of historical wrongs. A story about historical injustice. The scars of colonialism run deep, and the call for reparations is a call for healing and restoration. About the long shadow of colonialism. Colonialism has left a legacy that continues to impact the socio-economic fabric of African nations, and its lasting economic impact. The economic disparities created during colonial times still affect the continent's development trajectory. This is about looking outwards. It's about seeking justice on a global stage and holding those responsible accountable, holding former colonial powers to account for the wealth extracted, for the development denied, for the generations affected. Africa's path forward is complex, but with resilience and unity, the continent can overcome its challenges and build a brighter future.